Our top story today: at a non-proliferation conference in Moscow, a North Korean foreign ministry official said the opportunity for the United States to engage in dialogue with the North is closing, calling for a progressive decision.
Director General of the North Korean Foreign Ministry's North American Department, Cho Chol-soo, has said the window of opportunity for progress in dialogue with the U.S. is getting smaller. At the Moscow Non-Proliferation Conference, Pyongyang again urged for an improvement in North Korea-U.S. ties, a security guarantee, and an easing of sanctions. The North Korean diplomat also accused Washington of increasing tensions on the Korean peninsula with military exercises, emphasizing that the U.S. needs to take reciprocal steps by the end of this year.
32-year-old James Chowinski Boy, charged in federal court with unwanted sexual touching of a female airline passenger. Police say it happened Tuesday night on American Flight 807 from Charlotte to Salt Lake City. In a criminal complaint, the female passenger claims the suspect suddenly began groping her. When she told him to stop, he allegedly threw up his hands and said, "Sorry." The flight crew quickly separated the two as the captain diverted to Tulsa. Airport police took an allegedly intoxicated Chowinski Boy into custody. In-flight sexual assaults are not new. The Department of Transportation recently launched an investigative task force after the FBI reported a 66% increase in sexual assault reports over 3 years.
Major twist tonight in the story involving that leaked video of ABC News anchor Amy Robach talking about the network she works for killing the Jeffrey Epstein story. Now, a TV producer who recently left ABC News for CBS has been fired. A short time ago, she spoke with news anchor Megyn Kelly. Fox News chief breaking news correspondent Trace Gallagher is helping to put the pieces of this fairly complicated but interesting story together tonight. Trace?
Yeah. Tucker, the former ABC News producer accused of leaking the Amy Robach recording is 25-year-old Ashley Bianco. When her former bosses at ABC identified Bianco, executives at her new employer, CBS, immediately fired her. But during an exclusive interview with our former colleague Megyn Kelly, Bianco says she is not the leaker. Watch.
All right, Josh, talk to me about this. We can show this email on the screen, by the way. These are emails obtained using FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, that show lobbyists for Burisma wanting to get in contact with the Obama administration using Hunter Biden's name. Isn't this exactly what the Bidens have denied happened?
The short answer to that, Liz, is yes. I mean, FOIA is a hell of a drug. FOIA litigation in the federal courts is oftentimes crazy just because of what it ends up divulging, and this is no different than that. The timeline here is pretty crazy. It looks like 1 month before Joe Biden pressured Ukraine to fire this prosecutor who was looking into Burisma, literally 1 month before that, Burisma was in communication with the U.S. State Department trying to get a meeting, and they were expressly name-dropping Hunter Biden as a reason to get that meeting.
Now, as we've heard from firefighters tonight, they are dealing with these unpredictable and very dangerous conditions. The bushfires are generating their own thunderstorms. It's a weather phenomenon that alarmingly is becoming more common. It's forcing crews on the ground to develop new strategies to tackle them.
It looks like Armageddon, but this is in fact a weather phenomenon known as a pyroconvective column, and we're seeing them in all their fury. The column forms when intense heat from the fire causes air to rapidly rise in the smoke plume. As that rising air cools down, the moisture condenses and forms a cloud. When the atmosphere is unstable enough, that cloud can generate its own strong wind gusts and even lightning strikes.
And Ivanka Trump has weighed in on the House impeachment investigation. The president's daughter and advisor says that she agrees that the inquiry is about, quote, overturning the results of the 2016 election. But she had a different view when it came to identifying the whistleblower who sparked the inquiry. Ivanka says the whistleblower should not be a substantive part of the conversation, saying the person did not have firsthand information.
I don't view the whistleblower as it shouldn't be a substantive part of the conversation, because this is a third party who was not privy to the call and did not have firsthand information.
By far the majority of school shootings, like last year's deadly attack in Parkland, Florida, are preventable, the Secret Service says tonight, after analyzing 41 school attacks over the past decade. They found no single profile of the attackers or the kind of schools targeted, but they did find common warning signs.
Every single attacker in this report exhibited concerning behavior, and for many of them, that behavior actually elicited safety concerns in those around them.
Half the attackers had an interest in violent topics. Nearly all were bullied and had a difficult home life. Most had a history of school discipline problems. Among other red flags parents and classmates might notice, children losing interest in their appearance and school activities. The report says schools must have people who are trained to recognize these patterns, and just as important, who know how to approach problem children before it's too late.
Campaigning for Sunday's election drew to a close Friday, and acting Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez appealed to undecided voters.
Those voters, those citizens who are thinking about what to do with their vote on Sunday, if they want stability, a strong government, and if they want a progressive government that puts the brakes on the far right, this is your house, the Socialist Party.
Sanchez is expected to win, yet his Socialist Workers' PSOE party, according to polls, not only falls short of securing a majority, it may even lose seats. So Sanchez will again be called to form a coalition, which he failed to do after April's vote.
It's an absolutely beautiful building.
In a role reversal, the Prime Minister was taking the pulse of medical staff on Friday as the future of Britain's National Health Service came to the forefront of this general election campaign. President Trump, when he visited the UK in June, had commented that everything was on the table in post-Brexit trade negotiations. He later clarified, saying the NHS was not up for grabs. But the seed of mistrust was sown, and launching their election campaign in Edinburgh on Friday, the Scottish Nationalist Party, or SNP, has promised to slam the door on predatory overseas healthcare companies.
We will fight tooth and nail any attempt to expose the National Health Service to a post-Brexit trade deal with Donald Trump.
Health Canada has stopped the sale of a so-called vaginal detox product following a CBC Marketplace investigation. The tiny herb-filled balls are being marketed as a way to cleanse women. But as Cass Russi explains, experts say they don't work and they could be harmful.
The latest fad promises that toxins will be flushed out of a woman's most personal body part. It's called Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls. And on the company's website, testimonials abound about how these tiny pearls, once inserted into a plastic applicator, then into vaginas, can fix everything from menstrual cramps to infertility.
I know she was conceived from those pearls.
To improved mental health.
I mean, it's a great detox to do spiritually, emotionally.